important topic today that is not one that I enjoy talking about, but it's a update on the backlogs we're seeing at the US Patent and Trademark Office related to trademark filings. I provided some information about this several months ago, probably late in 2021. We're now here in the middle of May 2022, and the backlogs are worse. And I think if you roll back the tape, I predicted that they would get worse before they get better. And I would still say they will probably still get worse from where they are today before they get better. But hopefully we're close to the peak worse backlog, and soon, hopefully, we will see improvement. Now, the backlogs, the most important impact of the backlogs is new applications. New applications are now taking more than 8 months to get reviewed. Before anything substantive happens at the USPTO, before an examiner picks up a new application that's been filed and begins the review of it, it's taking more than 8 months from the filing date. This leads to delays throughout the system and leads to challenges for applicants who are trying to clear marks that might be impacted by pending applications and waiting to find out what happens to somebody else's application. Of course, it also means that the delay takes longer for anybody, even who's going to ultimately get approval and get those wonderful benefits of a registration. It's taking longer to get those benefits, to get the R with a circle, to be able to sue in federal court for damages, certain types of damages, and all of these things. So that is the greatest impact of this backlog. But there are other impacts as well. We're seeing renewals take a lot of time to file. We're seeing evidence of use filings take longer than usual to file. And all of these have a ripple effect throughout the entire system that impacts every applicant pretty much in some way. One way that it's impacting is that by the time something gets reviewed, a period for responding may have expired or lapsed at the USPTO. And then this causes additional fees or limited options if the filing that took so long to get reviewed gets rejected or needs modification or tweaking. So these are real impacts that affect. And now I know the USPTO is trying hard to fix this, to improve. It takes time to hire and train people, but I would like to see them hire more people, come up with new ways to train people, maybe a task force with some members of the outside of the public to help brainstorm ideas for how do we attack this backlog? How do we get more examiners trained and up to speed? How do we help keep examiners from leaving the USPTO for private practice or retiring or other things? What incentives might help keep those examiners who might otherwise move on to other careers or things after the USPTO. One more thing about this backlog. It's always important to file a trademark application sooner rather than later. But now, more than ever, because we know it's going to take so long, more than a year on average, maybe even closer to a year and a half on average to get that registration. A lot of rights begin when you file the application, and it's important to get that serial number and get in the database. But because of the backlog, it's even more important to begin that application process as soon as possible. These are some of the issues and some of my suggestions for how to deal with this backlog. The backlog is in fact so significant that even the USPTO's own dashboard about the backlog is often delayed in getting updated. So let's work together to try to solve this. If you have creative solutions, leave a comment or ping me. Let's work together maybe on sending a letter to the USPTO or something with some constructive suggestions for how to attack this backlog.